You do not have to have a great or extra justifiable reason to break up or divorce. You simply don't. You can just say, I'm not compatible. I'm not in alignment in this relationship anymore. Whatever reason you want to is valid for you. Now, this is one of my subscribers saying this. I have to comment, I'm tired of a woman needing a good reason to want a divorce or to break up with a man. I'm tired of women needing to justify and over explain to people just to leave a relationship. She needs validation and confirmation from others. Men don't need to do any of these things. They can just walk away if he doesn't like you anymore. We must do the same. Yes, it's harder with kids, but men, again, don't have to worry about that. Now, Eve just made this comment, and I was literally about to make a video on this. You do not have to justify your reasons. If you are uncomfortable, if you're not going in the same direction, if your goals aren't in alignment, whatever, you that is a valid reason for you. If you do not see yourself with this same person 10 years down the line, that is your reason. So just keep that in mind. And you do not need to get all of our justification, like more than 50% approval to leave. Eve made that comment, but I was already in the process of making this video because of this post that I saw last night. This woman named Jaya says, I once explained to my niece that it is okay to break up with them over the little things. I broke up with my ex over a little thing because I knew it could turn into a big thing. He put bleach in my dishwater. I explained that bleach tends to cause a visceral skin reaction, leaving burns and dry patches on my hands. He made a joke that dishes aren't clean if they weren't cleaned with bleach. And I decided that day that our dishes would be handled separately. Except they weren't, because he often added his dishes to the water in the middle of me washing them. But one day he thought it would be funny to then add bleach, stating that a little wouldn't hurt. The first time I nearly crashed out. He apologized and said it wouldn't happen again. He didn't think I was serious about the skin reaction. The second time, I stopped what I was doing and left. That was like 8 years ago, and we haven't spoken since. I think some of these men are not taking us seriously because we'll state a boundary, don't do X, Y, and Z, and they'll just keep on like creeping up to X. And then after you allow him to creep up to X, he'll creep up to Y. And then next thing you know, you don't have any boundaries because they like to joke around or whatnot. But this woman, she said, I stated my boundary, he crossed the line, and he did it again, and I left. This is where we have got to be. And she's talking about the little things, but something like a skin reaction or a health issue is not a little thing. It's definitely worth leaving over. Now, in the comment section, women are speaking on reasons they dropped someone. I am Miss Bay says, once I told someone I was involved with that I'd like him to call more often. The next 2 days, he texted occasionally, but wouldn't call. He was the type that thought I was sexy when I was mad, so he would intentionally upset me. So I mentioned it again via a phone call. He said, I'll call you first thing in the morning. That morning, he texted, good morning, and I blocked him immediately and never spoke to him again. Walk away, girlies. She made a statement, a declaration. I would like this. He basically said, no, I'm going to get you mad. And she said, I bet peace. This is what we have to do. This, especially if it's in a dating situation. If it's in a dating situation, it is much easier, but obviously it can also be in a marriage because sometimes they will do the things that they needed to do to get you, but once they have you and the mask drops, you also have to be prepared to walk away as well. Frenchy French says, there's something about a man finding humor in what could physically harm me that makes me want to run for the hills. And not even just physically harm, just humiliate, make you upset or whatever. Like, why are you doing that? Why is that so funny to these people? Jaya says, literally makes me nauseous to think about it. This comment made me laugh. She says, I broke up with a guy because he insisted I use Miracle Whip in my tuna. She said, F a big reason. That's a reason enough. Aubrey says, told a guy I'd grown up housing insecure thanks to the men in my mom's life. Had no intention of him ever moving in, and that I cherished having my own space. He spent our whole time together begging to stay at my place every night, having tantrums if I didn't let him. I dumped him with no explanation, and he never asked for one. Bro knew the whole time. They know that they're trying to just push your buttons. And I don't understand, like, why do you want to push the buttons of someone that you're really into? It literally makes no sense. This top one from Tanya would definitely get on my nerves. She says, dated a guy while I had a job I had to get up early for, so I had to be in bed with the lights off by 10 p.m. I told him I'm not available after 10, so he would call me every night at 9:57 and keep me on the phone for 20 minutes, saying he wanted to hear my voice and I was being mean for wanting to hang up. I started hanging up on him and turning my phone off at 10:01. We didn't last long. That's the thing. Like I said, they just keep walking towards the boundaries, just walking, just so they can cross the line. I don't like, what is the point in doing this? Why do you want to annoy somebody? I don't get this. Like, she has a boundary. I must push through the boundary. On Threads yesterday, also, I saw this post where this woman was like, y'all really don't like women with boundaries. And the men were like, calling women with boundaries disagreeable and mean or something like that. They do not like the word no. They don't like boundaries. They hear a boundary and they see something that they got to push through. DMV Brat at the bottom says the original caption is valid, but this isn't little. He quite literally played with your health and physical comfortability, then implied you lied about the reaction or that he knew your body better than you did. Exactly. We women know ourselves. We know what we like. We know what we dislike. We know what harms us or doesn't harm us or whatnot. And when we say these things out loud, we need people to take us seriously. And if people are not willing to take you seriously, you do not need to have them in your life. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about this one. Join the conversation. Let me know if you have any stories. Jump in the comments with your stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. The male loneliness epidemic is about to turn into a pandemic, and it's by their own actions, it's by these men's own behaviors. This man posted this same post in life advice, relationship advice. It might have just been in the advice subreddit. He knows that he messed up, and he's sitting up here asking for advice when he's the one that ran his woman off. So he's 27, she's 30. He says, I effed up. My girlfriend broke up with me. How should I proceed? You should go get some help. You should go get some help. He knows all of the things that he did wrong because he actually put it in this post. He says, so I effed up badly. My ex-girlfriend and I have been together for about 3 years. We were really in love and life was great. She is a great woman. She supported me whatever I did and always tried to talk to me. I did the same for her, at least for the first few months. Then, after about a half a year, I changed. I became an alcoholic. He does say that he is not a native English speaker, so I am changing some of the words. I became an alcoholic. She doesn't know this, but can probably guess. I was rude to her, ignored her, was just acting like an a-hole. Not a total a-hole. I still did a lot of good things for her, and we still had many more great moments and phases. But I have to admit that I changed for the worst. Each morning, she wrote a good morning text and a few sentences that she loves me. In the beginning, I did the same. And then after a while, I only wrote good morning back. Then in the end, I didn't respond at all anymore. When she called me, I acted distant and kind of annoyed. I told her multiple times that I want to be alone. I became more and more distant and always complained to her about how unhappy I am with her, despite doing everything she could. I am not stupid. I knew this was about to come. A few days ago, I drove off from her place and went to my parents' home to have some alone time. She called me, sad. I told her to leave me alone. She called me again, asking if I still love her. I said, I don't know. She asked if I want to continue this relationship. Angrily and annoyed, I quickly responded, I don't care. You decide, and hung up. Well, I effing regret this sentence so deeply. About an hour later, I received a text from her that she dropped off all my clothes and stuff in a bag in front of my parents' home. I immediately rushed out and looked for her, but she was already gone. I knew I effed up bad. The next day, we telephoned, and I asked her if this was serious. She said yes. She doesn't think I'm going to change back to who I was in the beginning. Today, I called her one more time, asking if this is her final decision or if I have any chance to fix this relationship. She said her decision was final. I feel devastated. I knew this was about to happen. I can't even blame her. I only blame myself. It's the right decision for her, and I know it's all my fault. I deeply regret how I acted the last 2 years. I feel truly horrible, but I know it's too late. I am sitting here crying, not knowing what to do. I only know that I miss her. Y'all, my face is so chopped and screwed because he enumerated all of the things that he did wrong. He let us know that he is very aware. He is very aware. He's not mental. He said, I changed. I became an alcoholic. I stopped sending her text messages. I was angry. Like, what kind of advice do you need? You need some therapy. You need some self help books. You need to figure out how to talk to people that you love. Like, why would anybody stay with this person? These are the types of behaviors that women need to see and understand. Know that you deserve more than this. And when they change like this, because they be acting like, oh my God, vet better, vet better. But he says, I acted a certain way for 6 months and then I changed. The fact that she put up with it for more than 2 years is beyond me. I don't get this. Ladies who are watching these videos and in community with us, do not accept this behavior because they know what they're doing. They're not blindsided like they act. They're not blindsided. They know how they're behaving. They know how they've changed. They know that they let their how they treat you slip from where it was in the beginning to where it becomes at the end. They know. Don't treat them like they're stupid because they're not. This man deserves to be alone. He deserves to wallow in his sadness. He sit up there and pushed her away and did it angrily. He's the one that deserves this, and he needs to sit in it for a while so that he can make better decisions going forward. This is where I was tagged in. Crystal says, I feel like we're missing some details here. It sounds like FAFO to me, but also seems like he failed to mention a falling out in the middle there. And I don't even know if we're missing anything. He told us that he was angry and he pushed her away. I don't think that we're missing anything. So this man at the top says, fight the demons first, bro, and let the girl go. He says, I am trying. I felt this way even before I met her. I hoped she could fix me, but she couldn't. I need to find a way to do it myself, but I don't know how. You know what? This is the reason why I get tired of these men being labeled the most logical leaders, and we can lead anything, and they could barely lead themselves. They need to lead themselves to therapy to get themselves fixed. Yet they stood up and still try to be in relationships with women, breaking down women as women attempt to put band aids on their little boo boos. And I am tired. These like I said, this loneliness epidemic needs to be a pandemic until these men can get themselves sorted out. Cautious Bar says it won't happen alone. You need help and support. You definitely need to stop drinking. If therapy isn't doing much for you, it might be time to start looking for a different therapist or learning about other therapeutic approaches. Much of what comes out in our romantic relationships is a reflection of what we felt or witnessed in our family of origin. What did the dynamic of your relationship have in common with the childhood relationship between you and your parents and or the relationship between your parents? If you don't know, that's something to investigate deeply. This comment is pretty long and I'm not going to read it. And I wonder if this man does read this comment. Regardless, he does need to get some help. I do see that this was posted in the self help subreddit. This man was posting this exact same post in all these different places. Maybe he really just needs someone to talk to, obviously. And then I just wanted you to see this advice. PSQ says, get sober and go get her, you knobhead. Ugh, leave that woman alone. She needs some peace and she needs a chance to heal. She needs to heal from all that this man has put her through. The OP says, I think it's too late to get her. And PSQ says, do you love her? He says, I do, but not enough. not enough. He knows that he's not enough. He says, I love being with her, but I also started hating so much of her over time. I don't know if I truly love her. I just know that it hurts a lot and that I feel sorry for her. See, that he needs to leave this woman alone. He just wanted to have her there so she could be his emotional support and emotional, like squishy doll. Like he needs to be able to relieve stress with this woman. She was his punching bag. She needs to stay far away from this man. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about this one. Like I said, the loneliness epidemic needs to grow. It needs to get bigger. These people, y'all leave them alone when they start acting this way, when they start switching up, when the mask drops, when they change up, leave them alone. Join the conversation, like, comment, and share. I ended up on the child free side of threads. I'm also on the feminist side of threads as well. But I always kind of laugh at how the child free people, the child free women specifically, because child free men don't do the same, how the child free women literally get everybody rattled. Like these people really get irritated that child free women are out here living their lives, enjoying doing whatever they feel like. It just makes me laugh so much. So this woman, she's a comedian. She says her name is Anna. She says my sister has two kids and one is potty training and took a poop on her kitchen floor today. Today I took a nap and then made a huge pot of pasta with meat sauce and then I ate said pasta and then needed another nap. I love not having kids. Okay, so she's putting it out there. She's like, "Whew, I'm so glad I don't have to go through all of that." Then she says, "So much anger and love here. I got to invite you to my one woman show on April 1st in New York City." And then she gives the links for the tickets. And I just laugh because I knew based on this comment here that I was going to see a lot of tears in this comment section. And I love it when I see tears. Like, why are y'all so mad at these people for enjoying their life and talking about it on social media? This person named Shield says, you guys are celebrating napping, eating meaninglessly, and watching reality TV. Do you guys contribute to society and the economy in any meaningful way? Like, you think child free people are not shopping and spending in the economy or going to work or doing anything? And she's not eating meaninglessly. She's eating if she's hungry. Like, these people are so angry. Aquavangelist says, not having kids is the flex. I love it. I will always love my life childless. This life is all about me. And then Anna says, careful, these people are angry. And Aquavangelist says, it's such a strange thing to be angry about. Novel Hearts at the bottom says, it's fascinating how a woman posting about being child free and happy always summons the absolute worst people. Never fails to blow my mind. It blows my mind as well. That's the reason why I collect screenshots. Flamingo Photographer says, I laugh at people telling me I need to have kids. Nope, keep that to yourself, literally. And then Anna says, some of these comments are so 1992, right? And then 19 Una 94 says, I mean, do whatever helps you feel better about not being blessed with a child, but you don't have to beautify and encourage people not to have kids when you don't know the joy of having kids yourself. I think child free women should do what they want. They should show the other side. They should be able to say, look, I'm not miserable like they make child free cat ladies out to be. We are out here enjoying ourselves, living our lives how we want to on our terms, not being boxed in because society says we need to have kids. Child free women have the right to come onto their social media and speak about their life how they want to. Little Brown Doll is my homie. She says she's not trying to make herself feel better. You are. Children are not blessings to people who don't want them, so she has nothing to make herself feel better about. You say she's encouraging people to not have kids, but in the same breath call them a blessing and say they're a joy. Wouldn't that be you trying to encourage the opposite? That's hypocrisy. Child free people do not have to shut up about being child free. If you want us to, then you parents should shut up first. Exactly. Parents go around, we share pictures of our kids, we share what we're doing. Why are people so irritated when child-free people go around and are happy and do what they want? Folks need to really stop this. And then 19 Una 94 says, because kids are blessings, I wouldn't want anyone to get in the way of others who want children to be discouraged or scared because of posts like this when you don't have something to compare to. Having your own kids is completely different. I've seen people regretting not having kids, but not having kids in their senior years. Childless people only focus on negative, annoying stuff no one likes to do for the small kids, but just wanted to say that's not all about it. That's all. And then Little Brown Doll says, you don't get to dictate who child free people influence, nor do you get to dictate what a blessing is to other people. I suggest you read the I Regret Having Kids subreddit and Facebook group full of parents who regret having kids after realizing that people like you have lied to them about what parenthood truly is. This lie you perpetuate isn't working anymore. The child free movement is growing and the birth rates are plummeting globally. Get over it. Child free people will not be quiet. And then I see this woman, Lobotomy, saying, ready to be a child free woman forever. And I guess, she got people going. This has almost 5,000 comments. She says, you dumbasses really see forever and think she must have had an abortion. They don't even ask questions. They just go straight for it. They just unleash because a child free woman is having a procedure. She must be out here having just a bunch of abortions. Nala told her, you will regret this. Children are a gift and a blessing from God. And Labotny is like, ew. Why do people just want to give folks things and decide it's a blessing? Shouldn't a person get to decide what is a blessing to them? Must Love Dogs and Travel says, I assume you are getting fixed. This doesn't mean child free, just unable to get pregnant. If she's fixed and she doesn't want kids, yeah, I don't get that one. That's why I put a question mark. Labotny says, if you don't have kids and you got sterilized, come on, you can do it. She's like, put it together. I can't stand when other parents try to think that their experiences or beliefs dictate how other people should move or that they will take that same route. Kim says, I'm not sure about this. Personally, I never liked babies or toddlers, couldn't stand them, never wanted any. Then once I had my own self figured out in a career, I changed my mind at 33. I'm very happy I did. I have 3 children now and a little granddaughter. Life is all about you and selfish in your 20s. When you get a little older, you generally become selfless. I'm really glad I never did anything so drastic. I took birth control. I still don't like other people's kids, but I love my own. Like, you can have your own experience, but why does that matter on her post? She doesn't want kids. Why do y'all want this woman who doesn't want kids to have kids? Labotny says, what a gross comment. I would literally rather take myself out than have children of my own. I chose to have a hysterectomy at 31 and couldn't be happier with the decision me and my doctor made for my health. Like, ugh. Like literally, I had kids at 33. I had 30, no, I think I was 34, 34 or 33, one of them, and 36. I know 36 for sure. I was late in having kids, kind of like this lady, but I still don't think that my decision translates into Labotny's decision. This person at the bottom says it's truly embarrassing to be a woman in 2025 because a woman can have a hysterectomy and decide her own family planning. Is that why you're embarrassed? I don't get these people. Labotny asked, how so? You sound like a miserable see you next Tuesday. Manuela says, I feel sorry for you. You will feel differently when you'll be in your late 30s, not to mention 40s. Children are a blessing and the biggest happiness you can ever experience. You just chose not to be happy. I'm so sorry. I am sorry for you. These people are exhausting. Queen of the Boring says, you can't even get someone to reproduce with, so maybe focus on that instead of someone else's decisions. Oh, she was saying that to Manuela. So Labotny had a hysterectomy for health reasons and because she wanted to remain child free. People just assumed that she just didn't want kids or just assumed that she was having an abortion. I don't think that they even asked her, they just attacked her. But it made this woman say, and obviously she's being snarky, I'm already on my 5th abortion this week. Step your game up. Aisha says, also, even if you were having an abortion, F them. And then Labotny says, that's what we all said, laughing my butt off like F off. Exactly. There's like they just assumed, but even if she was, it's her business. Why do people care so much that people who don't want children don't have children? But it is because they know that children anchor a woman down. They want to keep women down collectively because child-free women are too free. They can just up and leave. They're ungovernable. Like the essay that I went through before said, child-free women have too much power collectively. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this. The child-free women getting people in a tizzy makes me chuckle. Just like the women with dogs and cats makes me chuckle. Anyways, join the conversation, like, comment, and share.